Jess is on the verge of a major career transition, whether she realizes it or not. And the tensions with the Breakfast Club, her growing rivalry with Lauren LaRosa, and the shifts in her public persona are all a part of a bigger cosmic plan forcing her to evolve or walk away. Unfortunately, but fortunately, this is just the beginning. I feel like I need you tried to fight, but my brain is racing for my heart is racing for clarity. What is going on, y'all? It's Santana, better known as Aubrey, when I'm doing these more personal, intimate, collective zodiac style readings. When we get into our spirituality bag. Yes, okay. Listen, I was doing a commentary on this Jess situation. I had posted her full entire, for the most part, her full entire live stream that she did. And I also had went and I did a whole commentary about the live stream that she did because old clips of Kendra G ended up popping up online and they kind of back up what Jess is saying. So, you know me, listen, anytime there's a story, I always think about, okay, how is this playing out astrologically? Because I am an astrologer, I'm a light worker, I'm psychic, I'm a healer, I'm all of the above. And I know firsthand that a lot of the times when people think these events or scandals or things that happen, you might think it's random, but it's not. It's not. Okay. You can even look at your own life and figure out what's been going on. This month has been chaotic. We have Venus that's been retrograde. We have Mercury that's been retrograde. We literally just had an eclipse on March 14th, which was Friday. And around eclipse time is when things hit the fan, either in our personal lives or in Hollywood or in the media, in the news. So I knew something was going to come out. And then when I saw that it was just hilarious, I said, yeah, this is definitely going to be something that plays out for a while for Jess. And I wanted to get into it. Okay. So listen, without further ado, that's exactly what the hell we're going to do. Bit of a disclaimer. I am working my way into developing this as a series, and just for the people in the back, okay? This is not exactly the celebrity reading. I mean, it is, but it's not. Okay, celebrity readings are more so, looking into their lives and humanizing them, and then, also looking at whatever's coming up. This video is more so like directly looking at the exact thing that just happened, okay, and what's coming up afterwards, right? So whereas a celebrity reading is more of a deep dive and a bit of a longer video because we're getting into who they are, like I did with the Wendy Williams video, this video is going to be more so just focused on the exact scandal that's happening at this moment. I don't give a fuck how Jess was raised. I don't give a fuck what type of person she. I don't care about none of that. Okay, none of that. We're not getting into none of that. We literally just focused on this scandal now, how it's affecting her, and what we see that's coming up for her in the next couple of months. Y'all love my predictions, so we're about to get into them. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I have her transit chart up on screen. This is literally just a transit chart for this past week. Okay, I'm not going to be updating the slides because all of this is last minute. So, just bear with me in the information that I have. But just to give you something to look at, this is the transit chart for her for this current week that has been placed over her natal chart. Okay, so what's going on? Listen. This is the astrology behind Just Hilarious in the current situation she's dealing with the Breakfast Club. Okay. Right now, Just Hilarious is going through major astrological shakeups. Okay. Particularly in her first house of self-identity, of personal branding, and seventh house of public relationships, enemies, and contracts. Now, the two eclipses in March 2025, this month, combined with Mercury and Venus retrograding in her seventh house, are putting her professional partnerships and her role at the Breakfast Club under intense scrutiny. Why is this happening now? Let's talk about it. The March 14th, 2025 Virgo solar eclipse happened in her first house because Jess is a Virgo rising, right? So it shook up her self-image, her confidence, and her career identity. We also have an upcoming eclipse that's going to be happening on March 29th It's going to be an Aries solar eclipse that will hit her seventh house, exposing tensions in her relationships and forcing a decision regarding who's really on her side. Now, if that wasn't enough, we have Mercury and Venus that are also both retrograding in her seventh house, stirring up past conflicts, misunderstandings, and unresolved drama with coworkers. Baby, you cannot tell me that astrology ain't real. You cannot tell me that astrology is not real. Okay? This is the perfect storm for professional drama, power struggles, and contract disputes, which is exactly what's unfolding right now between Jess, The Breakfast Club, and Lauren LaRosa. We can even throw Corey Holcomb up into that. Okay? So let's get started, right? March 14th, the Virgo eclipse. Okay, this already happened. This was on Friday. It shook up Jess's first house, okay? Because eclipses in the first house force major personal reinvention. So this can also apply to those of you guys out there that are rising Virgos or maybe even rising Libras, or I would more say rising Virgos though. Rising Virgos, right? Jess might have started feeling like she's outgrown her role on the Breakfast Club because she's been in the co-host seat, but does she truly feel like she's an equal among Charlemagne and DJ Envy? This eclipse definitely could be making her feel undervalued or overlooked. Okay. Along with this eclipse is a shift in public perception. Fans and media might be questioning her place at the table, especially since Lauren LaRosa has been filling in and getting positive attention. Jess could be feeling pressure to assert herself or risk fading into the background. Now, mind you, if you saw the live that Jess did, she made it a point to say, baby, when you hear me silent, it's a problem. Because y'all always hear me speaking. Y'all always see I got something to say. But when you see that I'm silent, it's a problem. Right. And so is she feeling the pressure to assert herself or to fade into the background? This brings up an identity crisis. Okay. What is next for me? With the eclipse forcing her to realize she needs to redefine her role, she is questioning if the Breakfast Club is truly the best fit for her long-term career. Right? So this brings up self-doubt and imposter syndrome, right? Even though Jess is naturally charismatic, naturally confident, this eclipse may have made her question if she truly belongs on the Breakfast Club. This is about career and brand reinvention. Okay. Virgo energy is about refinement and improvement. So Jess feels as though she needs to change her approach or even reconsider what she really wants out of her role in radio and media, period. Right. This is bigger. This is way bigger than just the Breakfast Club. It's like, do I even belong in this world? Do I even belong in this industry? Like, is this even for me? Like, bitch, I started out doing comedy, right? And she even made it a point to say in her Instagram lives, like, I get more fulfillment out of doing these shows outside of the studio. Like, I used to come into the studio looking forward to be here. I grew up as a fan, but like now I get more fulfillment from doing my first passion, which is comedy. So now it's like, bruh, now this shit is starting to feel like a job. I've lost my passion for it. Am I even happy here? Do I even want to be in the media space, period? Or was this just like a notch on my belt, like a step on the stairs, right? So that led to the eclipse and the public fallout that happened on March 18th, which was yesterday. Just days after the eclipse, Jess took to Instagram Live and aired out her frustrations with the Breakfast Club, particularly calling them out. Now, at the time of this posting, I did see that she was live on air today. She returned to work, and I guess they had, more to say about it. I have not gotten into that video yet, so I don't know what all was said, what was done. If some of the predictions I'm going to make within this video have already happened today, live on air, I have no idea, okay? However, Charlemagne and DJ Envy, she called them out for not having her back when she faced criticism. She indirectly called out Lauren LaRosa for stepping into her lane and getting special treatment. And then she called out the show's producers for making decisions behind her back. Now, how this eclipse set off the Breakfast Club drama, right? The eclipse likely triggered her frustration with being treated as less than by the other host. It may have pushed her to speak out more boldly, leading to the March 18th airing out session where she put the Breakfast Club on blast. She may have felt like her brand was being diminished while Lauren was being elevated, making her defensive and resentful. It's like y'all pushing this bitch up, but pushing me back. Like, how y'all going to use me to help push her up? It's almost like when somebody steps on somebody else in order to compliment you, or steps on you in order to compliment somebody else, right? So the eclipse has pushed her to be more vocal, to be more confrontational about her role and how she's being treated. But this is just the beginning, because her 7th house is about to get activated next. So we have Mercury and Venus retrograde in her 7th house, which has been happening all month, right? So Venus has been retrograde, I believe, since like March 1st or somewhere around there. Then, to make matters worse, we got Mercury that just went retrograde on, I believe, the 15th, right? So this literally happened over the weekend, right? All happening within her 7th house, which is relationship drama unfolding. So right now, Mercury and Venus are both retrograding Jess's 7th house of partnerships, of contracts, and open enemies. Retrogrades force people to revisit past tensions, unspoken conflicts, and unresolved issues. This is all adding fuel to the fire. All key themes in the drama with the Breakfast Club and Lauren LaRosa. These retrogrades are exposing miscommunication, unresolved tensions, and hidden power struggles in her professional relationships, right? Now, with Mercury retrograde, this is miscommunications, this is hidden information, this is delays. Jess feels like she's being left out of key conversations regarding the future of the Breakfast Club. She feels like decisions made while she was on maternity leave are coming back to haunt her. Was the plan always to phase her out? Was she just a placeholder? People are most definitely talking behind Jess's back, whether it's the producers or it's her co-host. She feels like she's being a part of a narrative that's being spun or that's being created without her input. Okay, conversations that she thought were clear cut are now being re-examined or twisted. Miscommunications with the Breakfast Club hosts, especially Charlamagne and DJ Envy, could be escalating tensions, and she feels like her voice is not being heard or that she's being misrepresented. Like, imagine like you had a conversation with somebody and you think things are one way, right? And then you go about your business, you come back only to find out it's completely different. They never consulted you, whatever. Now, we can all sit and talk about what Jess should have been accountable for and how long of a break she took. And I'm not here to argue about any of that. I'm just here to give you the astrology of it, not necessarily the commentary, right? Irregardless, these are the things that she's going through. These are the lessons that she's having to learn. These are the experiences that she's having, right? She is in a situation where she thought something was clear cut and dry, and now she's coming to realize that there has been discussions behind her back to X her out and to basically blindside her. Anyone would feel away. Anyone would feel away. Anyone would feel away. Okay. And so these are the lessons that Mercury retrograde is teaching her, right? To be more on her P's and Q's and all of that. Like all of the commentary that we have for her about what she shoulda, coulda, woulda. Those are things that she will learn after the storm passes, and then she calms down and then she realizes what she could have done differently. But right now in the moment, these are the challenges that are arising for her. And it just is what it is. This is the astrology of it, right? So Mercury retrograde scrambles communication and it reveals secrets. So being that it's happening in her 7th house of partnerships, is specifically stirring up drama in her professional and her personal relationships. People are talking behind Jess Hilarious's back. There are conversations 100% about the Breakfast Club future happening without her. Without her. I can confirm that. Without being there, of course, but as a professional astrologer and psychic and light worker, I can confirm that, okay? And she's sensing it. That's what the planets are bringing up for her. Like literally, I tell y'all all the time, get on your shit before shit gets on you. If you just literally look at the red flags, the universe will tell you what the hell is going on if you have enough not confidence, but if you have enough sense to pay attention, okay? If you have enough common sense to pay attention. And the universe is speaking loud and clear to Jess, and she's not delirious. She's not delirious. She's hilarious. No, she's not being deceived. The universe is purposely bringing this up because this is where she needs to improve and grow, and this is what sets her up for her next chapter. So yes, people are 100% talking behind her back at the company about replacing her. Okay, there are hidden rivalries and power plays, okay, that are resurfacing. Retrogrades reveal what's been hidden, and now she's realizing that the dynamics at the show may not be as solid as she thought. So it's like, girl, I've been up here at the Breakfast Club Kiki with Charlemagne and DJ Envy. They inviting me to cookouts, girl. We going to Canada. We going to Hollywood. We on stage play. We doing all of this, that, and the third. But meanwhile, y'all in the boardroom discussing about how to get rid of me and bringing the next bitch. Well, yes. Well, yes. That's the point of these retrogrades. That's the point of these transits, to show you what is really going on. Okay. And it is a blind side. Okay. So there's misunderstandings and public perception issues because Mercury retrograde in the seventh house can twist words. It can make statements seem worse than they were, and it can create PR disasters, such as you hopping on live in the middle of the night without wanting anybody and just letting one off, because that doesn't help. Okay. If Jess is not careful, she's going to say something in frustration that backfires. And I feel like she already has, but okay. Let's get into Venus retrograde and how that's affecting everything. So Venus rules over Taurus and Libra. And so it's about feeling undervalued. It's about jealousy. It's about power struggles. It's about your worth in relationships. So Venus retrograde forces people to reconsider their worth in relationships. We've all been doing it this entire month, both romantic and professional. So since this is hitting her seventh house of relationships directly, this transit is making Jess realize just how much she resents feeling undervalued. So every last thing that y'all see from her, every last Instagram post, every last remark, every last interview, every last word she utters, every live she does, it all comes back to that trauma of feeling undervalued. You don't see my fucking worth. So what the fuck am I doing here, wasting my goddamn time, putting money in your pocket, doing this, that, and the third, sitting here thinking I'm building a family, okay? Whether we talking DJ Envy, Charlemagne, the corporation, whatever. Y'all don't see my value. And I feel replaceable. So Venus retrograde is making Jess question if the Breakfast Club actually ever valued her, or even still values her, or if she's just filling a seat until somebody better comes along. She's constantly comparing herself to Lauren LaRosa. Venus retrograde can bring jealousy. It can bring competition. It can bring insecurity, which is likely fueling the tension between both of them, whether indirectly or directly. There's also financial and contractual tensions that are brewing. Girl, is this bitch making more money than me? Hold on now, because I brought her on, but hold on. Does that mean that I get a cut? Do I get a percentage? Like, all of that is coming up because Venus rules over money. And since it's retrograding in the seventh house of partnerships, best believe Jess is feeling underpaid. She's feeling underpaid, unappreciated, and she's frustrated with her contract. She's fed up, period. But see, these are all signs that, baby, this is not for you. And we're going to get to what I feel like is about to come. We're going to get into my predictions and what I feel like is the future is going to hold for her. Spoiler alert, a show. When doesn't it? Like we done seen this 1,000 times. You leave, you go do your own thing, you become successful. I don't understand why a lot of y'all still be struggling and confused when we've seen the universe do its magic and we've seen it happen and play out in front of our eyes 1,000 times. Like, again, didn't Armand Wiggins and Funky Dineva just go through this exact same shit? Didn't TJ and the girl that he was fucking on, his co-host, didn't they start their own podcast and go through the same exact shit? Like, how many examples in life do y'all need? How? But okay. So right now she's frustrated. Overall, they talking shit. I feel undervalued. I feel underpaid. What's going on with my contract? Is this hoe making more than me? Girl, it's a lot. So this transit is forcing Jess to reevaluate her role on the Breakfast Club and whether she's truly valued. Old resentments and rivalries, particularly with Lauren, that's bubbling up. And she feels like her loyalty is being tested, especially if she perceives that the Breakfast Club is over her and backing Lauren instead of her. Also, Lauren's rising popularity It's triggering deep insecurities. I don't give a fuck what Jess says. It's triggering deep insecurities. It would in anybody. It would in anybody. It would in anybody. Okay. Fans and media have already praised Lauren as the better fit. So it's like, girl, I leave my job for 2 seconds, even though it was more like 2 years, Jess. I leave my job for 2 seconds. I hire this girl, or I recommend this girl to be hired as my seat filler. I come back. Y'all like her better than me? Come on now, y'all. I know we've all been in some sort of situation. It's like, let me humanize it for y'all. You have a friend. You have another friend. Neither one of those friends know each other. You are the mutual friend for both parties. Y'all decide to go out as a threesome one day. Now you find out those two are hanging out without you. How the fuck would you feel? It's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing. And again, I'm just here to humanize everything and tell you the astrology of what Jess is going through. We all have our opinions about what she should have did, what she shouldn't have done, whatever. We can say, okay, well, baby, this is the bed that you made, so go ahead and lay in it, girl. Okay, you laying on a mattress with no sheets. That's the bed you chose to lay in. Oh, well, okay. We can all say that, but the astrology is what it is, girl. It is what it is. Okay, so Jess is realizing that the Breakfast Club doesn't value her the way that she thought, right? She's questioning her professional worth. And this is causing her to react impulsively to the situations that she doesn't necessarily fully understand yet. Like, she doesn't have all the information. And for one, it's because she's not being given all the information, just only her intuition and what the universe is showing her. So there is miscommunication, but she's reacting impulsively because, again, there's a lot bubbling underneath. There's a lot bubbling underneath. Okay. Like, you got the fans that feel like she's a better fit, and that's made Jess feel like her spot is being threatened. Right. So it's like, even before, like, so Jess was on live saying, oh yeah, I'm the one who helped pitch for her to have her own segment instead of me. Cause it's like, yeah, bitch, I see what y'all trying to do. So I feel threatened in my spot. Let's just give it to her, whatever. So unspoken tensions are finally bubbling up. Jess and Lauren's on-air interactions have been getting colder and more hostile. Jess told Lauren to hush in January, which was just the start. Now the situation is escalating. You got Jess questioning her professional worth. And again, she's reacting impulsively. With Mercury retrograde, some of the backroom conversations might actually be misunderstandings, but Jess is already going to jump to conclusions because it's Mercury retrograde. And then you have Venus retrograde, which is making her more sensitive to favoritism. If Lauren is getting more attention, Jess is going to start feeling deeply betrayed, even if it's not as intentional as she thinks. Mind you, all of this, these misunderstandings, is very simple. Rejection is God's protection. So whatever the fuck needs to happen to get Jess to her own show or to whatever is next, all of this is going to happen. So I don't feel bad, because in a moment, yeah, it feels like the storm, but there's going to be a rainbow after, Jess. It's going to be a rainbow after. But this is what it's going to take. It's misunderstandings. It's them, because I'm going to get to the predictions, but shit is about to hit the fan. It's misunderstandings. It's public walkouts. It's y'all fighting on air. It's the co-host picking a side. Like, it's all of that. But that's what's going to lead her to her abundance. Okay? When you like, we be so excited about the testimony, but we always forget about the test that it took, that we had to take before getting to the testimony. You understand what I'm saying? So Jess is going to be more likely to air things out publicly instead of handling them behind closed doors, because it's like, y'all don't respect me, so why the fuck would I respect y'all? Retrogrades make emotions unpredictable, and since she's a comedian with the platform, she's using it to call people out. Again, like, she comes from Instagram, like that she's the age of social media. That's what we do. So with these 7th house transits, she's likely realizing who is on her side. Partnerships she once trusted may feel unstable, and unspoken tensions are not impossible to ignore. Let's talk about March 29th. That is going to be the big showdown. The big showdown, right? Now, mind you, March 29th is on a Saturday, so it can happen March 28th. It can happen March 27th. It can happen March 31st. Okay? Sometime within the next week or so. It can happen, like I said, anywhere from March 27th to April 1st. Hell, it might even happen April 1st. And then y'all be like, was that an April Fool's joke? No, bitch, because astrology told you it was going to happen, and I told you it was going to happen. So around March 29th, that is when the big showdown is going to happen. As if things were not already intense, there is another eclipse happening on March 29th in Aries, directly hitting Jess Hilarious's 7th house again. Okay? So put it like this. If the Virgo eclipse on March 14th was about her first house and identity and self-image, this one is about her partnerships and her enemies. This is going to be the breaking point, y'all. Expect a public confrontation. Expect a public confrontation. Jess may go completely, I mean, fully, baby, fully unfiltered. I'm not talking about, the little things on, listen. And again, I don't know what I have not listened to the radio from today. She might have already did it today. I don't know. But around that time period, that March 29th, oh, baby, completely unfiltered. Completely unfiltered, calling out Lauren, even Charlemagne and DJ Envy by name. Because Aries energy is bold, it's confrontational, it's in your face, it's decisive, right? So think of any Aries placements that y'all know. People say Chloe's the feisty one, but then they look at Hallie and be like, oh, no. She's the Aries, she's the feisty one, right? Okay. This eclipse could push her to make a public declaration, whether that's leaving the Breakfast Club, calling somebody out even more directly, or completely severing ties with certain people. You can expect a climactic beef with Lauren LaRosa. If tensions have been simmering, which we see that they are, this eclipse is going to bring an explosive fallout between them, right? We're talking contracts, negotiations, legal matters that will come into play. If there's any behind the scenes talk about replacing Jessica or shifting dynamics at the Breakfast Club, this eclipse is when things are going to come to a head behind the scenes. Mark my words. So a career altering decision is going to happen here for Jess. This could be the moment where Jess either quits, she gets fired, or she demands a major role change. Now, this is why it's so important to pay attention to the universe and the red flags, because why the fuck would you, if you feel like you are undervalued and underpaid and being disrespected and people talking behind your back, why would you go and demand a major role change? The answer seems obvious, but guess how many people do that every single day of their lives? Y'all completely overlook the red flags, completely overlook what the universe is trying to tell you, and then y'all go and y'all still try to force a triangle into a square puzzle. The universe is literally showing you like, hey, this is not aligned for you, hence all of the tension, but yet y'all still go and try to make shit work. Y'all still try to make fetch happen. So that would be the worst thing for her to do, because clearly she's being guided for something better that works for her. Okay? But I'm just giving you the possibilities. She can quit, she can get fired, or if she's feeling cocky and ego, like how 99% of the time a lot of y'all be, okay, she might try to fight for a better role. But then again, get on your shit before shit gets on you. The universe is just going to sweep in and kick her out of there anyways. Remember when your mother used to tell you, baby, if I got to come in there and find it myself, I'm going to whoop your ass or some shit like that? It's kind of the same thing. If the universe has to step in, it ain't going to be pretty. It ain't going to be pretty. So a career altering decision Jess is going to be faced with. There's going to be legal, contractual drama. Okay. Is she still under contract with the Breakfast Club? Or is this the moment where negotiations come into play? This eclipse is going to bring sudden contract renegotiations or even legal action. It might be a breach of contract, y'all. I can't do it no more. Fuck it. Here's your severance pay, or fuck it, I'm going to just buy my way out We talking that big of a deal. Okay. So possible outcomes could be Jess leaves the Breakfast Club. She realizes she's outgrown the show, moves on. This could be a Joe Budden type of moment where she breaks off and builds her own platform. Jess stays but demands a bigger role. If she doesn't want to leave, she might push for equal treatment with Charlamagne and DJ Envy. She could, ask for a bigger paycheck, more airtime, or a new contract. She would be a fool to do that. A dumbass fool to do that. And Jess and Lauren's feud explodes on air. If the tension isn't resolved, they can have a live confrontation that forces the Breakfast Club to intervene. And the audience starts picking sides, Team Jess versus Team Lauren. So where does Jess Hilarious go from here? Where does she go from here? My God. If she stays on the Breakfast Club, expect a new power dynamic. If she leaves, she may launch her own platform. Okay. So just to give a summary before I get into my final predictions, of all of this before I get into my final predictions, the March 14th, 2025 eclipse in Virgo, it was a solar eclipse in Virgo that directly hit Jess Hilarious's first house and conjuncted her ascendant. The first house represents self-image, personal identity, and how one represents themselves to the world. This eclipse likely triggered major self-realizations, a desire for independence, and the need to redefine her public role. Now, this could explain why Jess is suddenly more vocal about her dissatisfaction with the Breakfast Club, because eclipses bring change, sometimes through conflict, and in her case, it manifested as public airing out of grievances. If she's feeling undervalued or overshadowed, the transit is pushing her to reclaim her space loudly. Jessica went live on Instagram on March 18th and accused the Breakfast Club team of failing to support her, particularly after her maternity leave. Okay. Some key points that she addressed was feeling sidelined. She suggested that decisions were made behind her back. Charlamagne and DJ Envy's lack of support. She hinted at tension with them, implying that they didn't back her up when she was under public scrutiny. And frustration with Lauren LaRosa. Without naming her directly, she alluded to conflicts with a certain newcomer. Given that Lauren had been a guest host during Jess's absence, some speculate that Jess sees her as competition. The power struggle between them has been brewing for months. Now, we get to the Jess versus Lauren tension. What's really going on? Because the beef didn't start overnight. Since late 2024, fans have noticed moments where Jess appeared to dismiss or belittle Lauren on air. Some key moments were top of January, where Jess repeatedly told Lauren to hush during discussions, making it clear she was not feeling her presence. Then you have the fans that were hyping up Lauren as a better fit. And when Lauren covered for Jess, some listeners praised her, which may have stoked tensions. Then we also have the maternity leave takeover narrative, right? Some speculate that Jess felt pushed out when Lauren got more airtime in her absence. At this point, the drama has escalated, with Jess now making it public. Jess is in a relationship war zone right now, right? This moment is pivotal. It's pivotal, okay? Because with that eclipse hitting her first house, pushing her to take control of her narrative, whether this means leaving the Breakfast Club or just asserting her dominance, Jess Hilarious is clearly not backing down. So there's going to be more fireworks to come. Like I said, this is a relationship war zone, and these transits are pushing her to fight for her position. So by the end of March, we're going to know whether she's staying with the Breakfast Club or making a major power move somewhere else. As far as Lauren LaRosa, she's playing the long game. She's going to be okay either way. So if Jess leaves, Lauren just might become the permanent co-host, okay? So let's go ahead and get into some of these final predictions after y'all go ahead and like the video.
1, 2, 3, catch it. 4, 5, 6, manifested. 1, 2, 3, catch it. 4, 5, 6, manifested.
I'm not trying to be rich someday, 'cause I'm rich right now. I'm not trying to be rich someday, 'cause I'm rich right now.
Either you get it or you don't.
Okay, so let's get into my final predictions, right? This astrological storm is forcing Jess to make a decision about her career path. So the most obvious, Jess versus Lauren. The feud escalating publicly. Jess and Lauren's tension is going to become undeniable. Okay. Like so far, it's been cute here. Jess not wanting to say shit. Lauren not saying anything at all because Jess has called Lauren out about, oh, you said things on the show and supported me, but never online. And Jess is an Instagram social media type of bitch. Like, let's keep it a buck. She was raised with social media and she grew to fame on social media. So she might call it out on social media or on air. Okay. Which I'll get to that in a second. But it's going to become clear, like, oh, y'all don't really fuck with each other. Y'all just doing the whole PC thing. Like, oh, y'all just, trying to keep it cute for the public, but y'all don't really rock with each other, right? And honestly, I'm not even going to hold Jess. Like, I'm not even going to hold her. She's not my cup of tea. She's not my favorite person because of her views on certain things in the past. Hell, even her views last night with the Instagram live. Because the way that she was like, oh, I respect all men and all women and all others, I knew exactly what the hell she was implying. And I was like, see, your dumbass still didn't learn. Your dumbass still didn't learn. I don't understand how she even made it to an iHeartRadio or Breakfast Club after that shit she pulled on the airplane. Do y'all not remember that scandal? So listen, even though she's great in talking, everybody got a mouth. Okay. And if you learn how to get out of your own way, anybody can be confident and get up on a radio. Okay. It ain't like you're in front of a video camera and you got to be seen. Anybody could do what the hell she done did. Okay. So Jess, I didn't even mean to go on a whole rant, but I just realized why I don't like the girl. But I say all of that to say she ain't never held her mouth before. She ain't never held her tongue before. So I don't see her holding her tongue when it comes to Lauren. I feel like, listen, she does not like the girl. And Lauren may not like her. And I'm not even mad at Jess for not liking Lauren because at the end of the day, baby, I asked you to come in here and now I feel betrayed by you. I feel betrayed by the rest of these motherfuckers up in here. And y'all pushing me out to help push her up? Absolutely not. Don't undervalue me to then go and pay her. That's not how this works. And all of us would be mad if we worked at a job and we came back and found somebody else sitting at our desk. And then on top of that, you taking from my paycheck. I'm looking at my paycheck. I'm seeing money missing. I'm asking what's going on. Y'all giving me the runaround and I'm finding out this little bitch getting paid more than me. Absolutely not. So I don't fault Jess for that. And I believe that the tension will become so undeniable, okay, whether it's subtle shade or an all-out argument, the audience is going to pick up on the beef. That whole, oh, Charlamagne told me that it's going to become real. Okay, when the play beef becomes real. Jess might call out Lauren directly on social media in an interview or even live on the Breakfast Club. Lauren may, because see, Lauren comes from the corporate. I don't know if she's corporate. I don't know if she comes from the corporate world or if she just moves corporately, but Lauren comes from TMZ, journalism, all of that. So she has a different air of professionalism about her versus Jess, right? Who, again, was groomed through social media. So Lauren may respond with a cryptic post or comment, playing it cool, but also still fueling the drama. It's like, bitch, we know what you're doing. We see what you're doing. Okay. Giving very much Claudia versus Funky type tease. Claudia versus Armand and Al type tease, right? Charlamagne and DJ Envy may try to downplay the situation publicly. Because y'all know how these niggas be. Okay, they want to be messy too and talk behind the back, but then when shit hit the fan, it's, oh, I'm a man. I gotta, yeah, okay. So Charlamagne and DJ Envy may try to downplay the situation publicly. Oh, but they're gonna have to address it at some point. So expect at least one viral, expect at least one viral on-air moment, interview, or social media post where Jess speaks out on Lauren, whether subtly or blatantly. Now, number 2. Jess gets fed up with the Breakfast Club and threatens to leave. Like I've said all video, Jess is feeling like her voice is being drowned out or that she's being set up to fail. And guys, there's miscommunications, all of that. A shot. Okay. Regardless of where she'll feel months from now and what shit turns out to actually be when the dust settles, we talking about right now. And right now, Jess feels undervalued. She feels drowned out. She feels like she's being set up to fail. So she could go on another rant, whether it's publicly or privately, about how she's not being respected on the show. Behind the scenes, contract talks might get tense, especially if Jess feels like she's being underpaid compared to what Lauren is bringing in. Okay? Charlemagne and Envy might distance themselves from the drama, making Jess feel even more isolated. Because, like I said, they will do that messy shit. Charlemagne, you being messy, texting her like, oh, go ahead, hype it up for the show. But publicly, you don't want to speak. So now I'm the villain, right? Right? That's what we doing? Okay. So Charlemagne and Envy expect them to distance themselves from the drama, making Jess feel even more isolated. Mind you, again, this is all the mechanics of the universe working to push Jess out of this show. Bitch, you not supposed to be there because we got something better else in store for you. But again, are you going to take heed to the red flags? Are you going to take heed to spirit trying to talk to you? Or are you going to get so caught in your own ego that you feel like, oh no, ain't nobody about to push me out of my spot. I was here first. Fuck that, bitch. This is my shit. I'm the one that helped you get this. So let me sit here and fight for a contract that's never going to happen. Because you're going to end up getting pushed out anyways, because now, after the universe done told you 20 goddamn times to take the chicken out the freezer, now the universe has to go and take the chicken out the freezer, and guess what? Now your ass about to get whooped, because the universe done told you 20 times to take the chicken out the freezer. But you said, no. Trying to do what you wanted to do, trying to be cute and creative, right? So, there's going to be some serious talks, either publicly or internally, about Jess leaving the Breakfast Club by mid-2025. Number 3, expect an on-air heated argument or walkout. The March 29th Aries eclipse could trigger an explosive confrontation. I'm telling y'all, listen, the last time there was an eclipse in Aries, oof, on March 20th, I will never forget. No, it was actually April 20th, baby. I had moved to LA April 1st. That April 20th Aries eclipse in my third house of communication sent my ass right back to New York. Right back. Because I realized where I was living. I had the same situation as Jess. You thought you under certain contracts, certain partnerships, all of that turned out to be a lie. And where I was living was extremely racist. And it turned into an explosive confrontation. One day I'll post that story time because I still have all the video receipts. Girl. And the same, oh my God, it's crazy how astrology works, because the same way Jess feels like she's being pushed out is the same way I felt like I was being pushed out, because before I could even leave that apartment on May 1st, my roommate had already started moving in the next person's shit, which is completely illegal. An explosive argument happened with me and the property manager and then my roommate, because they didn't back me up on April 20th. And then I promise you, by April 22nd, the new roommate shit had already been piled up in the living room. Like, it was bad. So, not to make this about me, but just to show you how astrology does not miss and is always spot on. I promise you, I can almost say confidently 100% of my soul that there will be a heated on-air argument or walkout. Okay? Because that eclipse is going to trigger an explosive confrontation. So I don't know. March 29th is a Saturday. So again, it can happen a couple of days before, a couple of days after, right? Okay, March 31st, April 1st, or March 27th, March 28th, but somewhere around there, right? It's going to happen, because Jess has to have like a heated moment on air that shocks the audience. She could storm off, she could refuse to engage, or she could just go silent during a segment, right? That could be other ways of it manifesting, but Lauren might respond in a way that adds fuel to the fire. Because, I mean, from Lauren's point of view, it's like, you've been quiet this whole time, you know, She, like, everybody team Lauren. So Lauren might even get to a point where she's feeling herself like, baby, I'm good either way. Because either way, Lauren is good, because the universe is setting it up so Lauren can win either way. And it's not like the universe is against Lauren, and I mean, against Jess and for Lauren. It's just this, we're working out everybody's destinies here, right? And if you take your ego out of it, you see that the best always happens for you. The best is always happening for you. The best is always happening for you. Say it with me. The best is always happening for me. The best is always happening for me, right? So, Jess, yes, you being pushed out so Jess can be so Lauren can be pushed up. But Lauren, at this point, you might be feeling cocky and comfortable and like, oh, everybody team me. I got this job out the way. And you might let something slip that adds fuel to the fire. And it's like, oh, she should beat your ass now. I'm just saying. Okay. So expect a tense, awkward moment on the Breakfast Club that gets everybody talking. Number 4, contract drama. Just demands more money or power. Again, we have Venus retrograde in her 7th house, which suggests financial frustrations because Venus it rules over partnerships, but it also rules over money, right? And the 7th house is a house of partnerships and specifically business partnerships. So Jess feels like she's being lowballed. And if Jess stays, she'll likely demand a better contract, okay? Because Jess wants more money, more control, and a guarantee that she's not being pushed out. Almost like a, baby, put that shit in writing. Don't tell me anything because I've been relying on the words and shit that y'all been saying, and that's been coming back as a lie. Okay, you've been telling me that 2 + 2 is 4, and somehow bitches has ended up with 8. What is going on? So now I'm gonna need y'all to put it in writing that I'm not going nowhere, that I'm locked in for X amount of time to this money. Matter of fact, since we at it, since I know the way that y'all move, let's not even just talk about what my contract gonna say to pay me. No, I want a residual every X amount of months. I want to increase. Okay, so that's what it's given. And if the company hesitates, if iHeartRadio starts hesitating, then Jess may start negotiating behind the scenes for her own show or her own podcast. Now, whether that's with iHeartRadio, whether that is with other production companies, whether that's on YouTube, whether that's with Apple Music, okay, who knows, okay? But Jess is going to push for a contract change. You can almost believe that. All of this is pushing for her to push for a contract change, or she's going to walk. She's going to walk, okay? Which brings me to number 5. Jess Hilarious starts her own podcast or her own independent show. So if Jess does leave the Breakfast Club, she won't disappear. It's not like she's going to fade into oblivion. Like, she could launch her own platform using her comedy, her raw opinions, and celebrity connections. Being that Just with the Mess is a thing, it could really like make her be like, okay, regardless of what Just with the Mess turned out to be on the Breakfast Club, they didn't appreciate that segment, that gift that I have. So let me see seriously about launching this into its own thing, right? Like, it's like Funky Dineva. Funky Dineva had been on YouTube for however long discussing reality TV, but it wasn't until Fox Soul that made him realize, like, I could really have my own damn talk show for real. And then he turned his YouTube channel into that, right? So Jess could be the same way. It could be a moment where she like, okay, I'm done with this media shit, period. Or it could be like, you know what? All is not lost, because at the end of the day, whether good or bad, there's a lesson in everything, right? There's a takeaway in everything. And the wisest people are the ones who don't have regrets, but they look back and they learn from their fucking mistakes or learn from their experiences. And so if Jess is smart, she will look back and be like, irregardless of how the experience turned out, what did I learn? What did Breakfast Club give me? What did iHeart teach me? It taught me I am valuable in this space. I can be a media personality. Even though I didn't go to school for the shit, I do have a gift for the shit. So you know what? Thank y'all for y'all time, but I'm going to take what I've learned here and I'm going to go build my own shit. Fuck you talking about? I didn't even like splitting with 3. You thought I was going to split with a 4th person? Absolutely not. Now I'm about to take everything that I learned and I'm about to go have my own shit. Okay? Fuck splitting the money 4 ways. No. Now it's all coming to me. You understand what I'm saying? The Just Hilarious show or the Just with the Mess show. Like, and I'm not talking about some Instagram little reels that she do like every Tuesday. No. I'm talking about like an actual full-on show. Okay? Or an actual full-on podcast that she takes serious. Because I do believe she did have a podcast, something like that before with this type of concept. But like, I mean, like, no, like some for real shit. Okay? And This could happen as soon as mid 2025, right after eclipse season wraps up. So like June, summertime, right? So if Jess leaves, she'll pivot to her own platform, YouTube, podcast, streaming shows, and she could even, pivot her celebrity connections. Okay. Number 6. I feel like we in school. Number 6. Charlamagne and DJ Envy try to stay neutral, girl, but they eventually end up choosing sides. Okay, they gonna act. They're gonna act like they got their act right. Okay, they're gonna act like they got that act right, and try to act like they staying out of it at first. But girl, they ain't never stayed out of it. Them is two messy queens right there. Charlamagne might make a passive aggressive comment that hints at where he stands, and if Jess really pushes the issue, they may have to publicly address the drama. Now, if Jess leaves, expect them to say something like, "We wish her the best, but keep it short." Charlamagne and Envy will avoid taking sides at first, but their actions will make it clear who they really support. And we already know who that is, so let's get to her. Ms. Lauren LaRosa. Expect her role to increase. She's going to benefit either way, which is going to confirm Jess's suspicions. If Jess leaves, Lauren might step up into a bigger role. Matter of fact, we know she will. Let me not even say might. And even if by chance in hell that Lauren doesn't replace Jess officially, Lauren could start getting more airtime, which will make people speculate that Lauren was being positioned to replace her all along. And as we can tell from Fox Soul and iHeart, they love the drama. They act like they don't, and everything is corporate. We got to be professional, but they love the drama because it brings in views, it brings in streams. So it's just like, why not position all of this? Okay, we may not address what happened, but we know that y'all will, and y'all will be in the comments engaging, which will help rise our numbers up, which puts more money in our pockets. Right. So like I said, Lauren is going to benefit from the situation, whether intentionally or not. And the last thing that I want to get into is the timeline event. Okay, timeline of events based on astrology, right? We already had the March 14th, 2025 Virgo eclipse that happened in the first house where Jess realized that she's over it. It triggered self-doubt and frustration with how she was being treated. It made her more aware of the power dynamics at the Breakfast Club. We already went through March 18th where Jess went off on the Breakfast Club, publicly airing out her frustration, and fans started picking sides. But what we have to look forward to is the final showdown that is happening on March 29th or around, give or take a few days, y'all. Because again, that is a weekend. That is a weekend. So it could be that Friday and then boom, they come, because March 29th is a Saturday. So this could happen Friday and then boom, they come back by Monday, by Tuesday. We got a decision, right? Okay. But expect around that weekend a final showdown where an explosive argument or major shift in relationships happens, right? This could be the moment where Jess finally decides to leave. Now, April through May 2025, over the next 2 months, this is going to be the period of fallout and aftermath, where if Jess leaves, this is when we'll hear about it officially, right? So Jess will make the decision to leave in the next week or so, but we'll hear about it officially in April to May. And if Jess decides to stay like a dumbass, then April to May is when she'll demand changes in her role or contract. And from mid to late 2025, that is where we're going to really want to focus on Jess's next move. Because if she leaves the Breakfast Club, she will announce her next project. But if she stays, she could possibly come back stronger, but with a different attitude. Okay? So final prediction. Does Jess leave the Breakfast Club? I'm gonna say there's about an 80% chance, about an 80% chance that Jess leaves by mid to late 2025. There's also a 20% chance that she stays, but only if she gets what she wants, which I don't know. There's too many red flags. The universe is guiding her in a different direction. I don't know. Because I feel like it's just going to come up again in September. Like with eclipses speed up events that were already meant to happen, and they speed them up. And then with eclipses, you're on a 2-year cycle. So even when you think you're done with something now, guess what? In 6 months, you're going to have to revisit. And then 6 more months, you're going to revisit what you revisited. And then remember what you revisited from the first time. Like, it's a cycle of themes. So I don't know. But the astrology, it all suggests that this is a breaking point for her, right? Because these eclipses are forcing Jess Hilarious to confront what she truly wants. And the retrogrades are making all the hidden issues bubble up to the surface. So either way, her career will shift dramatically this year. Whether it's a solo podcast, a new show, or a bigger role in media, the drama is literally just the beginning. So y'all gonna fuck around and Just Hilarious about to end up the next Wendy Williams girl. I don't know, man. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about all of this down in the comment box below, child. Okay, I will be live tonight. At 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, taking live readings, live quickie readings. But if you want to book a full personal reading, you can go to my website, thealigningsouls.com, which is on screen as well as in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, definitely go check out the celebrity reading that I posted for Wendy Williams, which is a bit more different. We get into, her conservatorship and everything that's going on with that, but we also do like a deep dive into her life and why she is the way that she is and how that affects where she's at currently. Okay, not just the scandal, but we get into everything overall. So that's the difference between a Signs and Scandals video versus a celebrity reading. Okay, that's pretty much it. I love each and every one of y'all. Thank you for watching. Comment down below with all of your thoughts, and yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye. Tell me what you